So the first normal form or the basic rule for normalization is the first normal form disallows. That means it doesn't allow three things basically. It doesn't allow composite attributes. So yesterday I just revised you what is composite attribute. The attribute which can be divided into subcomponents is called as composite attribute. We had seen two examples. One is address, which can be divided into street number, then cross number, area, city, etc. And then name is the attribute which can be divided into subcomponents such as first name, middle initial, and last name. So these two are the examples for composite attribute. And then the second thing what first normal form doesn't allow is multi-valued attribute. So we had seen in the example of department table that there is one attribute called as locations which is multi-valued. That means one department exists at multiple locations. So when we write one typical record of about one department, then in the column of locations, I'll have to write multiple values. That exact explanation or exact description of that table is given in the next slide. Then third thing the first normal form doesn't allow is the nested relation. What is mean by nested relation, that also we will see in the next slide. So let us see the next slide example of bad relation or the unnormalized relation. So I'll just take you to the next. Yeah, here is the slide. I'll just zoom it. So you see in the first example, there is a department table. And in department table, as you all know that we have attributes like we have department name, then we have department number, then we have department manager SSN, that is the SSN number of the manager of the department. And then we have the fourth attribute as D locations. That means the locations in which the department is present. If you look at the records of that department table, you can see there is a department research whose department number is 5. There is some person who is manager of that department. His SSN number is given. Then the research department exists at 3 locations. So as per your textbook, the research department exists at Bel Air, then there is Sugarland, and then Houston. So there are 3 locations related to one department whose name is research. Other 2 departments like administration and headquarters, these 2 departments are located at single locations, that is Stafford and Houston. So research, let us take the example of a research department which exists at multiple locations. So here you can see that locations is a attribute which is allowing multiple values. That means it is a multi-valued attribute. Now, as per the definition of first normal form, that the table should not have multi-valued attribute. But then the problem is our department table already has an attribute which has got multiple values. Then what is the solution? So the solution is to normalize this table. What is meant by normalization? Yesterday we have seen the definition. Normalization is a process of decomposing a bad relation, and the result of decomposition will be there will be two or multiple uh, tables formed, two or multiple relations will be formed. So now this department is a single table. Now the solution is we have to okay. So here the definition of first normal form was it doesn't allow. So let me take you to the that slide which I wanted to show you the definition. So the first normal form doesn't allow or it disallows composite attribute. Then the example we had seen of address, which can be decomposed into these subcomponents like street number, cross number, area, and city. Can you see it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Then there is another example we had seen of name. is a composite attribute which can be decomposed into first name, middle initial, and last name. Then
Yes, ma'am.
second thing this normal form doesn't allow is multi-valued attributes. Fine. So for multi-valued attributes, now we are looking at that example in the next slide. Third thing, first normal form doesn't allow is nested relations. So let us see that in the next slide. So here you can see this now. First example is showing the schema of the department table, that is the structure. So it is showing you the attributes of department table. We have department name, we have department number, we have department MGR SSN, and department locations. So this is how uh, what you can say department table structure is shown here. Now the records of that department table. Now research department is there, whose department number is 5, and there is MGR SSN. And you can see research department exists at 3 locations. One is Baylor, then Sugarland, and Houston. Can you see this? Then there is
Yes, ma'am.
administration department which exists only at Stafford, and then headquarters only exists in Houston. So since research department exists at multiple locations, now in the same record, we have given 3 different values. So department locations becomes a multi-valued attribute. So as per the definition, multi-valued attribute is the one which has multiple values for the same record. Isn't it? For the same research department, I have multiple location values here. So what to do with this now? As you know that the first normal form doesn't allow multi-valued attributes. So the solution is to make it normal. And the process is called as normalization. So yesterday we had seen the example of normalization as it is a process of decomposing bad or unsatisfactory relations into the normal and satisfactory relations. So now this department table is a single table. I will have to decompose it. Decompose means I'll have to cut it into multiple parts. But as you all know, this cutting is not as we do normally. So here, while cutting, I will have to take care that I will not lose any of the information. Like for example, suppose now as you all know that department locations is unwanted attribute here. Unwanted in the sense it is a multi-valued attribute which I don't want. So now I will have to cut it into 2 parts. So when I will cut this table here, so can you see my cursor here? Suppose if I use annotation and I will show the arrow. So you can see department locations is a problematic attribute which I don't want in my table. So I will have to cut it. But if I cut this like this, what will happen is I will lose the information, or these 2 tables will not be complete. For example, I am going to lose the information of where is the research department located. And if I look at the locations table, I have only the locations, but whose locations, that information I have lost. So while cutting this table into 2, I will have to cut like this. I can't cut like this. Then in that case, I'll have to take this particular thing, that is department name or department number. Wait, yeah. So what I will have to do is, I'll have to take this department number. I'll have to keep in both the places. I'll have to keep it here also, and I will have to keep it in this also. So after normalization or after decomposition, my table will be split into 2. One is in the department table, and second, another table will be formed whose attributes are 2 attributes. Which are those 2 attributes? One is the department number and second is locations. So how this will solve my problem? So let us look at the next slide. So I'll just clear these annotations. Yeah. So the solution will be here. Okay, first we have not cut. So what we have done here, step by step solution is shown here. So first we have not cut, we have not. So what we have done is we have tried to write these three locations on different records. Like here research department, then I've written for location Baylor, I have repeated this research. Then again I have repeated the information of research department in Sugarland. Then third again I have repeated it for Houston. So you can see here when I split this multi-valued attribute into single locations and I make multiple attributes, then in that case there is a kind of redundancy here. You can see here
Yes, ma'am.
three lines, here there is a redundancy. So I have to avoid redundancy. To avoid redundancy, now I will go to the next. Yeah, anyways, there is, yeah, I will take a new slide and I'll show you how it can be done. Yeah, in this new slide, let us see. So what we can do is we can take two tables. So I'll just insert a table. So I'll take one table wherein I have department number, then I have department name, and then I have DMGR SSN. I will not show the values, I will just show the structure. Now similarly, now second table I'll form after decomposition, and I will name that table as department locations. In this I'll have only two attributes. So here I will have now in this what I can do. Suppose there is a department number. So what was the department number of research department? 5. 5 was the research department and there was some value for MGR. Anyway, we'll not copy MGR assistant value. We'll just see 5 is the department number. Name of the department is research. And then SSN is something. Suppose I'll just, let us assume this is the supervisor for that department. Now, yeah. Next, what I will do in the department locations. Now earlier this locations was the attribute in the department table only, but after normalization I have decomposed. I split this table into two parts. This table I will name it as department, and this table here I will just name it as department locations. The name of the table itself I'm going to keep as department locations. So I have made, I have split it into two tables. Now here how will I write? So I will write department number 5 and I will write suppose it is Houston, and then there is again department number 5 and then Baylor, and then department number 5 and Sugarland. So I'll just write SL here. So now can you see here there is a department table.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have not lost the information. I have department's information in the original master table department. Then I have created another table called as department locations. Of course, I can't avoid redundancy to know which department's location they are. So I have to repeat department number here. But I have not taken department name. So there is very less redundancy, as we can see from the characteristics of our relational database approach is there is a minimum redundancy. So here we have minimum redundancy of department number. So 3 places. Here I have department number as the primary key, so it will not repeat again for the next record. The next record in this department table will be department number 1, which is so we have those 3 departments. So likewise here one department's entry will be done only once, whereas when I have to repeat the same department for multiple locations, I have taken it in another table called as department locations. So here the primary key is department number and department location. It's a composite primary key. See that both these values will not repeat again. 5 will repeat but for the different location, and sometimes the location may repeat but for the different department. So this is how we have solved this problem of multi-valued attribute by splitting the table or by decomposing the table into two tables. One is department table and second table we have formed is department locations. And then we have made a separate record for those different locations that belong to the same department. So this is solving my problem. Are you clear with this? Yes, Manisha, can you hear me? Yeah, someone should be unmuted. I'll just unmuted someone. Yeah, Sanjana, is it clear?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So actually there are three qualities of the first normal form, that it does not allow composite attribute, it does not allow multi-valued attribute, and it does not allow nested relation. But in our
Yes, ma'am.
example, we had seen only one example, that we have seen that department table which has got multi-valued attribute, and we have shown how that multi-valued attribute can be split into two tables, and this is how we have achieved the first normal form of my table by splitting it into two parts. Clear with that? Yes, is it
Yes,
clear,
ma'am.
Krishna?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So one
Am
thing,
I am I audible?
yes, you're audible. One thing you have to
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
understand that normalization is a process of splitting or decomposing, but that decomposing cannot, or that decomposition cannot happen mere by cutting it into two parts. While cutting also, we have to see that the functional dependency or the meaningful association between the attribute continues to exist. So there is an association of department with the location which should continue to exist. And for that reason, I'll have to repeat this attribute department number into both the tables. I'll have to preserve it into the original department table wherein I have department name and MGR SSN associated with that. Then I can't take only locations in this table. I should know that the location belongs to which department. So for that reason, I have to take this attribute also in this table. Clear? So this is how logical or
Yes, ma'am.
meaningful decomposition takes place after the first normalization. So this is the process. We have seen one example of first normalization. Clear with that? So in exam, you will be
Yes, ma'am.
asked two types of questions. One is they will ask you 2 marks question to define what is first normal form, or they may ask what is second normal form, third normal form, or what is BCNF, that is Boyce-Codd normal form. So when they ask you definition, you are supposed to write only the definition. So when it comes to first normal form,
Yes, ma'am.
it is put it in the negative form. In the sense, it is put like this, that the first normal form, or you can write like this. A relation is said to be in the first normal form when it is free from what? Composite attributes, then
Composite attribute.
multi-valued attributes, and nested relations. Or you can put like this also. The first normal form does not allow composite attribute, multi-valued attribute, and nested relations. If they ask you for 5 marks, define the first normal form and explain the process of first normal form with the example. Then in that case, what you will have to do, you will have to show this unnormalized table department first. So that means this is not the pure or satisfactory table. Why this department is not
Yes.
a pure or satisfactory table? Because it contains one attribute called as locations, which is multi-valued here. So you
Multi-value.
have to show such example. If you don't remember exactly research and these locations, you can write any example. You can take the department as BCA and you can write the locations into one is you can write 3 different locations here and then show the split up. So this is the first you have to show the unnormalized form, and then you have to also explain that since this table contains an attribute department location which is multi-valued attribute, hence there is a need for decomposition of this table, or there is a need for normalization. So after normalization, you have to show it like this. You have to show that it is decomposed into two tables like this. Clear with that? So this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
how the first normal form can be explained. Then let us go to the second normal form. Yeah, there is also another example for nested relation. Now here you can see earlier we had seen one bad example, bad tables example, whose name was employee project. How that employee project table had got, which all attributes it had. It had SSN number, it had employee name, it had project number, and it had hours. So ignore this upper part right now. So let me just take,
Yes, ma'am.
so ignore this part. So you can just show the unnormalized table like this, employee project with these four attributes. And you can even show some of the examples like this. I mean, some of the records like this. You have SSN number, then you have employee name, and now the same employee is working on two different projects. So here also, there is a multi-valued attribute. Can you see the same employee working on two different projects? So even this problem is there. But
Yes, ma'am.
another problem this table has got, that it has nested relation. Nested in the sense, actually this table has one more table inside it. So only it is called a nested. That means it's a table which is a combination of employee table as well as project table, isn't it? So there is the information of the
Yes,
project
ma'am.
table which is combined in this. So what is the solution? Solution is I will have to cut this. But can we cut like this? We have to cut this employee table, we have to separate with project. But if we cut like this, then we are going to lose the information of which employee works on which project. See, suppose if we cut it like this, then we will, if you just split this table, in one table we will have SSN number and employee name, and in another table we will have project number and hours. So this is going to be the employee table and this is going to be the project table. But in this process, we are losing the information of which employee working on which project. So that's why if you take this example for first normal form, you can take any one example, either the previously explained of department locations or this. But when you take this example, then you will have to show three kinds of split up. What is this? What are the split up you have to show? So here the split up will be, you will be forming one table called as employee. Now employee table, and second you will have to show that there is a table called as project, which will have a project number and maybe the project name. But this hours will again useless. What does that hours indicate? That hours indicate which employee works on which project for how many hours. So this particular employee project table will be split into three parts. One is the employee table, second is the project table, and third is works on. So in the works on, I will have to take SSN number, then I will have to take P number, and then I will have to take hours. So in the first table, I'll have information of employee. In the second table, I have information of only project. Of course, here you can write project number as well as project name, but it is not shown here, but you can add it. And then the third table will be works on. So this is how the proper splitting will be into three parts. So you can even show like this, but I think the first one example will be easier. Now let us, so here they have shown in the first normal form output. Sorry, this is just, Yeah, so down you can see at the end of this slide, it is shown the split up. There's one table and second table is formed like this: SSN, project number and number of hours. Still this table may not be pure, so it may go to the next normal form. So let us look at the definition of next normal form. So I will not show the example of this because let us see how it goes. If you can digest both the examples, then it is fine. Otherwise, we can see it in the next class. Right now, at least let us see the definition. The second normal form uses the concept of functional dependency and prime attribute. So in the last class, we have already defined prime attribute. Prime attribute, let me repeat, prime attribute is an attribute that is a member of primary key. Member of primary key in the sense what? Sometimes my primary key may be composed of 2-3 attributes in case of composite primary key. In that case, each member of that composite attribute individually it is called as prime attribute. Clear with that? Like for example, in our which order processing, do we have? Yeah, we have uh, which table, for example, where we have composite attribute, we have order one in that, okay, order item. So in our table called as order item in our journal program, we have composite attribute where we have order number and item number. So for the same order, same item will not repeat. So you remember, so this was our PK, or this was our composite attribute, composite primary key in our order item table in our journal program. So in this case, each of this order number as well as item number, these are the members of the primary key, isn't it? So both these individually can be called as prime attributes. So understood what is prime attribute? Prime attribute is the
Yes,
one
ma'am.
which is a part of primary key, which is a member of the primary key. Clear? So order number and item number both can be called prime attributes. Now let us see another definition here. We know the definition of functional dependency. We have already seen that. Let me not repeat it again. But now I have to understand what is meant by full functional dependency. Only then we'll be able to define the
Yes, ma'am.
second normal form. Full functional dependency, which is indicated by this Y arrow Z. How is it read? It is read as Y functionally determines Z, or in reverse way it is read like this: Z is functionally dependent on Y. Are you clear how it is read? It is read in two ways.
Yes, ma'am.
One, Y functionally determines Z, or Z is functionally dependent on Y. Clear? So
Fine.
when Z is
Yes,
functionally
ma'am.
dependent on Y, it is assumed that Y is a primary attribute which uniquely determines each of the tuple. Clear? So Y is the
Yes, ma'am.
attribute which uniquely determines all. So now, full functional dependency means such functional dependency where removal of any attribute from Y means the functional dependency does not hold anymore. So let us look at the example. Now here you can see this is the functional dependency. What is functional dependency? Now ours in our table works on, we have composite primary key called as SSN and project number. Together it is a primary key. So that means together they are called as, together they functionally determine this Rs. That means Rs is the attribute which is functionally dependent on SSN number and P number, which is functionally dependent on the combination of these two attributes. Now let us see. If we take only SSN number, will you be able to tell Rs? That means
No,
what?
ma'am.
Suppose if I take only some employee, and if somebody asks me, okay, tell me the hours of those employee. My question, then I will say, I will tell that person, your question is incomplete. You have to tell me on which project you are asking. For example, if someone asks me, how many hours Vaishali madam teaches? Then that question will be incomplete. Then if the person asks how many hours, for how many hours Vaishali madam teaches 4B students, or for how many hours Vaishali madam teaches DBMS subject, then in that case I'll be able to tell that Vaishali madam teaches DBMS for 4 hours a week. So to the complete question, so if they ask me only Vaishali madam, or if they just give me the faculty ID, and if they ask me hours, then this question will not be clear. So I cannot determine hours only by SSN number, or I cannot determine hours only by the faculty ID. To determine the number of hours, I need both these. What? The faculty ID as well as the subject number. Clear with that? That means to determine number
Yes,
of
ma'am.
hours, I will have to know the employee as well as the project about which you are asking. The employee may be working on multiple projects, but in each project, the number of hours are different. So if you are asking how many hours, that means you should ask me that employee for a particular project, how many hours he is working. So to determine hours, only SSN number, or let us put it in other way. If somebody asks me, this project is worked for how many hours? That means if somebody asks me, yeah, of course, I'll not take now DBMS example because that will again confuse you. Let us stick to this example. If somebody asks me that on this project, how many hours employees work? Then that question will not be complete. I will have to ask, on this project, this particular employee works for how many hours? So only by project number I'll not be able to tell hours, or only by SSN number I'll not be able to tell hours. So to tell hours or to determine the number of hours, I will have to have the combination of both these values. The SSN number, that means which employee on which project. So when I will tell that, then only I'll be able to determine the number of hours. So in this case, this particular combination is considered to be a full functional dependency. In this case, if I remove SSN number, the functional dependency is still there, but it is not full functional
Yes.
dependency. Clear? So you
Yes,
have to
ma'am.
understand that full functional dependency means normally, and one more thing you have to understand, full functional dependency exists only in the example, or only for composite primary key attribute. So in case of composite primary key, you have to understand that the other attributes depend on both the combination. It is something like, I can give a simple example, but you can consider it as a dummy example. Suppose there is CR and
Yes,
LR in a class. Only if CR is
yes,
there, LR is not there, then we will say that, okay, the class cannot be controlled only by CR, because girls listen to LR, or it can be the reverse also. Boys listen to LR and girls listen to CR. It may be the case also. But suppose if I say that to control 4B entire class, I need both CR as well as LR. If I take only CR, then the class will not be controlled. If I take only LR, the class will not be controlled. So that means the 4B class has full functional dependency on the combination of CR and LR. That means it is for a smooth handling of the class, both CR and LR are required. Of course, in reality, it may not be true, but I'm just telling you. For the smooth functioning, I require both CR and LR. That means even if I remove one of the values, that is either I remove CR or either I remove LR, then what will happen? The class will not function properly. That means the class is am I audible? Am I audible?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, in between, yeah, I have connected to hotspot and I got a call, so I just thought maybe it is disconnected. Anyways, so what I was telling, whenever you have composite primary key, remember other attributes depend on the combination of both those uh, composite primary key members. If you take only one of the member, then that dependency will not be full. That dependency will be partial. For example, when we say 4B class, if I take only CR or LR, then we say that there is a partial dependency, not full functional dependency. When we take both CR and LR, then we say that the full